Well, speaking of finding love, a lot of people are turning to websites like Match.com and eHarmony in order to find love online, but oftentimes it's better to just do it the old-fashioned way and hire a matchmaker. Why not? Hellen Chen joining us this morning, best-selling author and matchmaker, to tell us why so many young people are holding off on marriage early on. So why is that?
Well, a lot of people in fear, and then they have a bad experience for so many dating in their experience, which was broken heart. So now they don't want to date anymore, and then they try to postpone.
So you think that's a big reason why a lot of maybe younger people don't want to get married, is that they're kind of damaged and they have a broken heart?
Right, and then they also worry about finance. Because
money is a big thing.
Money,
yeah.
Right.
So what do you see in terms of when people come to you and they're not ready to get married in terms of finances? How does their career and money play into it?
Well, the basic things like this. Life, you don't go like a 17 twice, right? So you want to use your time good, and you want to continue the everything together. So you want to have your career, you want to making money, you want to have a children, you want to have a family life, all get together. So you don't want to be like do one thing at a time, and then when you get 40 and 45, and you say, okay, now we have children. It's too late.
It doesn't work like that, unfortunately.
Right. So you want to be, married, and then have somebody support you. You have a home to basic on, and then you both cooperate and you produce, and you have more responsibility taking care of children, and finance is going to get better because you have a family.
Okay, so finances get better when you get married. So
Yes.
don't be afraid about getting married because of that, because you're saying they get better.
Yes.
Okay, what about when people come to you and they don't want to get married because they don't want it to affect their life and the things that they like to do? Do you just say, well, you can do things together, or how do you convince people
The
that
thing
way?
is this: you get married, then you get freedom. But if you don't get married,
that's something I haven't heard
you're
before.
not going to have a freedom. So it's very tricky. It's like people thinking about I'm alone, so I can do anything I want, which was not really true. Because when you marry, you're actually free because you have the power, you have a home, and you have somebody to love, and you have somebody love you, and that making real foundation for your life. So that's really important to marry.
Hellen, you kind of pride yourself on being a matchmaker who can turn someone around. Someone that's completely against marriage, you can make them want to walk down the aisle. How do you do that through these different processes and steps? And how do you make someone realize that, hey, I really do want to get married?
Well, everybody deep inside their heart, we loved the feeling of falling in love.
Sure.
But then after you dating, after 10 years, and then you fail 3 times, 5 times, and you start thinking about, oh, it's not going to work out because you have so much frustration. But if you thinking about originally your dream of falling in love, how exciting, everybody want that. So if I could enlighten people that feeling when they was young, they want to marry, they want to have a family, they want to have someone they love, they care, and then they also want to be loved, then I could turn them around.
So you say different circumstances along the way kind of jade people, but everyone, you're right, as a child, girls play with their Barbies and they imagine them getting married. So deep down, you're saying everyone does want to get married.
Yes, very much.
Okay, so your book, The Matchmaker of the Century, kind of tell us where we can get it and where we can learn more about wanting to get married.
Well, basically, that's an idea of how the person should believe and trust the marriage, and also they believe in love. And this book is just talking to so many ideas. It's different than how people think, because, for example, one of the ideas is you should marry, then you date.
And where you can get this at Barnes & Noble?
Yes.
Okay, that's a good idea. All right, so you're saying marriage can be for everyone. You just have to kind of get through the kinks and get through the quirks.
Right.
And
you
then
have to believe yourself, and then there's a need to practice, that you need to learn, like you need to be really, really get into communication with each other. It's not a money to making your marriage. People marry you not because you're money. They actually want your people because you love.
Most of the time, that's not what happens.
Right.
No.
And at the beginning, because at the end, we be educated. Thinking about money is something you could depend on, and thinking about money is a thing to give you a security. It's not true. It's that person make you believe, and that's the security.
I think you're right. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Helen.